My daughter is 7 years old and has been doing rhythmic gymnastics since she was 4. This move is called crunches and leg lifts. They call them professional athletes, and as professional training, they will make trainers exhausted. They usually do 3 sets, usually 25 to 30 repetitions per set, and train 6 days a week with cultural classes in the morning and gym classes in the afternoon. The one I filmed is just one of the events, which is only a very small one. There are also pull-ups and handstands. Wu Liufang, a former member of the Chinese national women's gymnastics team, was recently bombarded by netizens on TikTok for her style of dancing, which damaged the image of national athletes. As a result, her dance video was removed from the platform and her TikTok account was temporarily suspended. Many Chinese athletes like Wu Liufang find themselves in dire straits after their glory days are over. Today, we'll talk about the difficulties Chinese athletes face after retirement. At this year's Paris Olympics, China and the US were neck and neck, winning 40 gold medals. With a total of 91 medals, China ranks second in the world, just behind the US. On the surface, many people think that China is a sports power, but strictly speaking, China is only a big country that wins Olympic medals, and it cannot yet be considered a sports power. China has won more and more medals in the Olympic Games, but the Chinese Communist government has not built more sports facilities for the people. According to the 2022 China Fitness Industry Data Report, the number of fitness enthusiasts in China is 75.13 million, accounting for only 5.4% of the total population, while the number of fitness enthusiasts in the US is 65.7 million, accounting for nearly 20% of the total population. The reason why China has won so many Olympic medals is that it demonstrates the so-called superiority of the Chinese Communist Party's national system. Children start training brutally from an early age, and in the end, very few of them can climb to the top of the pyramid and achieve success. Most people simply waste their youth in vain and end up with a body full of injuries. A Chinese woman found a video of her younger sister's former gymnastics training and competition. She posted the video on social media saying, "In 2013, my 3-year-old younger sister joined the gymnastics team for closed training and returned home only once a week. Every morning at 5 o'clock, the girl got up and ran 10 laps under the guidance of the coach, followed by various training exercises, including 2 hours of hanging from a horizontal bar and leg raises, 200 sit-ups, walking on hands. Within half a year, my sister's fingers, joints, and palms were covered in calluses." Better families will not send their children to physical education schools. It's too hard, and the children suffer more than their peers. A sports reporter from Xiamen City once revealed, "There are several unwritten rules in our gymnastics field. During the 6 months of training, unless it's an emergency, the children cannot go home, and the parents cannot visit the camp. The children must train for 3 days after appendicitis operation, and for competitions, girls must take gynecological birth control drugs to delay their periods." The hottest topic in Chinese sports recently is the former gymnastics champion Wu Liufang. She started gymnastics at the age of 4 and was selected for the national team in 2008. She won 15 gold medals and 16 silver medals in various international competitions. In May 2012, at the women's balance beam finals of National Gymnastics Championships and Olympic trials, Wu made a mistake and fell directly onto the mat with her head and neck, making a loud noise. She was taken out of the arena on a stretcher by medical staff. After examination, the 18-year-old was diagnosed with a mild protrusion of the 6th and 7th cervical vertebrae due to trauma. Just 1 year earlier, she had also fallen off the balance beam and suffered a laceration to her foot. Thus, she completely lost her only chance in her life to participate in the Olympic Games and the opportunity to change her destiny. As she later said, "Some Olympic champions have money, cars, and apartments, while she has nothing." As a national athlete, if you win an Olympic gold medal or a world championship, after retirement you might have the opportunity to become a teacher at universities or take a position at the deputy department in a local sports bureau where you'll receive housing and living subsidies and enjoy good welfare benefits. After a year, Wu Liufang had to retire and was recommended to Beijing Sports University, where she studied for 5 years. After graduation, the authorities arranged for her to work as a temporary coach at the Guangdong Sports School. But the leaders hinted that she would have to be on call at all times and accept the unspoken rules to get the permanent position. She refused to be subject to the unspoken rules that every Chinese woman knows the meaning of, so she left. Later, someone asked her to do live streaming. She was required to work 6 hours a day and was offered a monthly income of $500. However, since there was not much content for the live streaming and not many people watched it, she could not continue.
就是我现在跟大家说一下我为什么开始做互联网。
I'll tell you why I started showing on the internet, because many of us probably don't have good family conditions, including me. My family didn't have good conditions, so I dedicated my whole youth to the sport of gymnastics, but I didn't get the best results. In other words, I didn't reach the top. What is the top? The top is the Olympic champion. What does Olympic champion mean? It means having an apartment, a car, and a yard, but I don't have any of those things. I have to rely on myself. Wu Liufang went to work as a teacher at a training institution in Hangzhou in 2019, but her boss owed her wages and she left. This was one of her most difficult times. She had no income and could not even afford enough food for a while. Later, she went to work as a temporary coach at a physical education school in Jiangxi City, but didn't get a permanent position after 2 years. In order to make a living, she had to start streaming again. She started in March this year as an internet celebrity, and in November she posted several such dance videos in a row showing off her good figure. This immediately catapulted her into the limelight. She is criticized for selling the body by dancing like this and tarnishing the image of national athletes. A gymnast who has won gold medals in international competitions commented in the comments section, "Senior sister, it's okay for you to play the edge ball if it only affects yourself, but don't smear gymnastics." After this comment showed up, Wu's followers increased by more than 2 million in just one day, from less than 50,000. When the topic became more controversial, her TikTok account was set to unfollowable by the platform on November 24th. Many dance videos were taken down until her account was unblocked on December 1st. After her account was suspended, some people tried to dig up dirt on her. However, the more they dug, the more unexpected this former athlete turned out to be. Netizens discovered that even during the years when her boss owed her wages and she could barely feed herself, she still went to take care of children with autism and Down syndrome every week. Later, a public welfare development center in Zhejiang province also revealed that Wu had actively participated in various public welfare activities during that time.
是的，那个吴柳芳之前确实是参加过我们的一些活动。
他教自闭症孩子的一些动作，在他们在上课的时候，能够把这些孩子的情绪安抚好。他教他的设计内容要更对小朋友也要有爱心。
After her account was unblocked, her popularity increased rather than decreased, and the number of followers rose to more than 6 million. Wu said in a video that she was not intentionally making a fuss, but just wants to make a living, just wants to change my destiny. Her statement won the sympathy and understanding of many netizens. At the same time, she posted a beautiful photo of herself wearing Chinese traditional outfits on Weibo, showing her elegant and classic side, which won the support of netizens. Go for it, be yourself. The championship is your glory, not your shackle. If you don't steal, rob, or cheat, you will be better than many people in the world. It's speculated that high-intensity training and the secrets unique to Chinese sports have affected the normal growth of athletes' bones. When Wu retired, she was only 1.45 meters tall. After retiring, she grew a little taller and is now 1.55 meters, which is 5 feet. She felt a little bit of pity for this.
有后悔过
Do I regret doing gymnastics? To be honest, I think the only thing I might regret is my height. I don't really regret it. The only thing I regret is my height because it's something you can't really compensate for later in life, right? How tall are you? Who told you that I'm 1.9 meters tall? I feel that if I hadn't touched that stuff when I was a kid, I could have grown to at least 5'2", which is a normal height for a girl. Now I'm only 5 foot tall. Wu Liufang's situation of having to rely on the lowest level job as live streaming is actually a common plight for many retired athletes. Nearly 80% of retired athletes in China struggle with unemployment, injury, or poverty. Zhou Chuanlan, a weightlifter from Jilin team, was a national champion who won a total of 9 gold medals and broke a world record. But after she retired, she could only find work as a bathhouse scrubber. According to her former coach, Zhou would be assigned a job after retirement, so she had no pressure in the early retirement period. However, after waiting for a long time, she only got a babysitting job. The babysitting job is very tiring, picking up and dropping off children, cleaning up and cooking. She received $10,000 in disability benefits when she retired, but that money quickly ran out after repeated treatments. She began her apprenticeship at the age of 14, giving up the opportunity to go to school. It's not easy to find a job without a diploma. In addition, the long-term, high-intensity training caused her physical damage. She had many injuries to her knees, lower back and shoulders, and sometimes she could not walk normally. She worked as a manual laborer on construction sites but could not continue due to her physical condition. Later, she worked in a bathhouse, mainly scrubbing other people's backs. The money she earned was very little, 70 yuan a month, and after deducting the money for food and medicine, there was not much left. Later, she married a monk who had left the monastery, and they were both honest and hard-working. As a woman, she felt inferior because her level of male hormones was higher than that of an ordinary man due to the training and medicine she took. Her female characteristics gradually disappeared, and not only did she have a prominent larynx and hoarse voice, but her beard also grew back after each shave, and her body hair was relatively thick. What upset her most was that she could no longer bear children. Fortunately, her husband did not blame her, and the two adopted a child, and their relationship is very good. She once told overseas media, "Many athletes in the same situation as mine never received any help. We were left alone, uneducated, unable to give birth to children, and ruined by a system that claims to take care of us for life." The life of Zhang Shangwu, a Chinese national gymnastics champion, is another tragedy. Zhang was born in 1983 and is 1.51 meters tall. He entered the sports school to study gymnastics at the age of 5 and was selected for the national gymnastics team at the age of 12. In 2001, he won the Rings Championship and the men's gymnastics team championship at the 21st World University Games in Beijing. In 2002, Zhang Shangwu retired from the national team and returned to the Hebei provincial sports team. In 2005, he retired due to a torn Achilles tendon. After his retirement, he had no steady source of income. He was detained 3 times for theft and once sold his gold medals and performed in Beijing and Tianjin to make a living. A few years ago, a photo of him begging on the subway went viral. Wearing the Chinese national team tracksuit and holding a sign with his name on it, he begged in the subway car. There are many athletes who have had similar experiences. Ai Dongmei, a former international marathon champion, was forced to sell the 19 medals she had won to make ends meet.
她是我国最惨的奥运冠军。
She is China's most tragic Olympic champion. Having won several medals during her time as an athlete, she was cheated out of all of her prize money by her coach. Now she is so poor that she can only make a living by selling her medals. She is a marathon runner, Ai Dongmei. During her career, Ai Dongmei won a total of 19 world championships, an outstanding achievement. But behind this glory, there was endless suffering. As an athlete, Ai Dongmei was often subjected to harsh physical punishment by her coach, Wang Dexian. He forced her to train intensely every day. When she couldn't take it anymore and stopped, the coach would abuse and beat her in various ways. Under this strict training, Ai Dongmei achieved many results, but such inhumane treatment also left her body seriously injured. If her coach was so strict in order to get Ai Dongmei to achieve good results, it is still more or less understandable. What's excessive is that after Ai Dongmei won the championship, her coach used various excuses and pretexts to withhold and embezzle the prize money and wages she earned from the competition, which totaled 28,000. This left the retired Ai Dongmei with almost no money, and her life became increasingly difficult. In the end, she had to sell her 19 medals to make ends meet.
只能卖掉自己的19枚比赛奖牌维持生计。
It was reported that in just 2 days, hundreds of people scrambled to buy the 19 medals, and one person was willing to pay $700 for the bronze medal. Ai Dongmei said, "I regret practicing sports. I practiced for 8 years, but I was never admitted as an official member. I got the result as the top one, but the honor went to the sports team. The prize money went to Wang Dexian, the coach. The injuries were my own. I have no education, no money, and have made myself useless. I feel really bad. I don't have any money to buy milk powder for my child." Judo athlete Zhuang Duoduo had a similar experience. She won championships in various competitions in Shanxi province. After retiring in 2009 due to asthma, Zhuang had no job and no money to see a doctor. The local government just ignores her. She once posted on Weibo, Sometimes I lie in bed and can't catch my breath. I don't know what to do. I have been practicing wrestling since elementary school, but I later got sick and no one will help me to get treatment. Could you pay attention to me and help me? I serve our country and try to bring glory to it, but who pities me? I only have a junior high school education, so don't expect too much from me. When I go home and see my poor peasant parents, my heart breaks. Please don't laugh at me. When I can't breathe, the first thing I think about is survival. Do you understand? I want to survive. Zhuang Duo has publicly exposed the dark side. For example, she has been told to use her sister's identity to enter the competition because she was under the age limit. She was fed white powder of unknown origin by the coach. Her subsidies were taken away and her prize money was withheld, etc. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support and we'll see you next time.